5 minutes before the show starts live is what this is. Gives a chance for people to come on and hang out and listen to me and Kristen banter back and forth and do little pre-show notes and stuff, you know. Just be funny. What?
Oh, I can sing that.
You can sing that?
Totally. So that's good.
Okay, cool. 4 minutes till we're live.
Why did you turn that light on? I think that someone, you should make that box a mystery box.
What, that box?
It should be its
Oh,
own.
Brian Price is here. What's up, man? What's up, Brian?
Who's Brian Price? Your friend from the military?
Yeah.
Better get on this shit.
So yeah, so we're gonna be live in 3 minutes. We're live behind the scenes, so people that are listening right now, Brian, what's up, bud? We like to do this. It's almost like when you're watching the news and the people don't know they're on the news yet. I think that's what we're doing here. So it's fine. We are doing well. I'm doing very well. I'm doing live streams. So it's
Obviously very well.
yeah. How are you doing? I know. Well, you can't talk back.
He can text you.
He can. So we got 2 minutes, and we're gonna kick this thing on. Give time for everybody to get settled. I always want people to see the intro because I do a little cool intro, the video, and no one's ever on at 7. Like, do you remember how you used to have to watch TV? You used to have to be somewhere settled in front of the TV at a certain time, and no one does that anymore. Like, oh, hey, you want to watch a show? Oh, whenever you want to watch a show, you know. 2 minutes. We got a countdown. I got a 1 minute countdown that I do. How's it sounding over there, Kristen? My technical director. What? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
On my phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should stay tuned. Should start at 7.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool. 3 viewers. All right. People are punctual. I love it.
I'm an anniversary follower.
That's right.
I don't know what that means.
That means you've been on here before. I think there's a lag, isn't there? Yeah, there's always
Does
a
this
lag.
mess you up?
No, I'm just going to do the countdown right now. All right, the countdown has begun.
Because I can give you my earbuds if you want to.
No, I'm good. I can barely hear it.
Where does Brian live?
I don't know where he's at right now.
Ask him. Brian, where are you?
Brian, where are you? Where are you living now? Where are you hanging your hat, Brian? "33 seconds till showtime."
We've got some majorly good stuff now. Really
Yeah, really good stuff.
top drawer shit.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's not a bad one.
You didn't see the countdown yet?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not bad. There you go. And hello, everybody. Hello, Brian. How are you? It's good to be here again for our third weekly. This is our third time in a row. Third time in a row we've done this. We're having a lot of good times with it, and it's a lot of fun. And we're just winging it half the time, but It's fun. We put some thought into it, though. A little bit of thought, you know. We have lighting this time. Looks good. So,
Yeah.
so for 3 weeks in a row, we've started with the band Orleans. And I said last time that we were going to keep this as the intro until someone buys this album. But people don't know who they are, but they do have a hit.
Let me sing it.
Kristen, sing it.
You're still the one to make me sad.
Still the
one.
Still the, yeah.
That song.
So that's Orleans.
And he was a congressman, the
He
middle
was,
guy.
Yep,
in New York.
and they got in trouble for being on stage naked.
No, they
No, I
did
made
not.
that part up.
But they were at Woodstock.
They were at Woodstock, yes. So again, this is what we do every single time until someone buys this album. It will be on the website tomorrow, and for $10. But it's hysterical, right?
Orleans. They
Orleans.
were famous.
It would be silly if there was a new band that came out, the New Orleans.
Yeah.
So
They
yeah,
have
that's
clothes
what
on?
that is right there. They have clothes on. So anyway, I want to welcome everybody to the show, and we are going to talk about pop culture. And in the past, we've done items that were not on the store, but most of these items are on the store. And we just want to really have some conversation about pop culture, some fun stuff. And then if you're interested in anything we're talking about, it is on downtownpete.com. So you can go on there before, after, during, and order your fun pop culture items. But really the point of this hour of power is to just talk about fun pop culture and actually just interact with you guys. So we have a live chat here, so you guys can do that. So
You can ask questions about any pop culture.
anything,
And Ronnie will answer it, and probably might be wrong.
Look at Jen Graber.
I know. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen. I'm gonna like that. So yeah, that's cool. So we're gonna go right into it, and we're gonna start with I think the first thing I want to talk about, which I found this in the warehouse. Jen, you wouldn't believe this. I think it might have been your event. We did some Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And who remembers this iconic scene with, was it Phoebe Cates?
Oh,
Yeah, right? Yes, it was perfect. It was perfect. Who was the guy that was pining over her in the whole movie? And that was, what's his name? Do you remember?
not Spicoli.
No, it was the guy. It was the guy, Judge Reinhold. Judge Reinhold, remember?
Oh.
So yeah, this is my new find of the week right here. 5 Times at Ridgemont High. This is vinyl that I found, and I love it. It has so many good people in it. So we have Jackson Browne, we have Don Henley, Graham Nash, Oingo Boingo. That's a good one. We have Billy Squier, Jimmy Buffett, the Go-Go's, Sammy Hagar, yep, Stevie Nicks, Quarter Flash, and Donna Summer and Joe Walsh. Nice. And look at this.
So cute.
Isn't that cool? There's so many cool things about this vinyl right here. And then we got Spicoli.
And Sean Penn did not even have to audition.
They knew he wanted,
They were just like, hey man, you got this down. Don't
You
even
got
worry
this,
about it.
Yeah. And a little bit of trivia about this movie. Nicolas Cage, he made his debut in this one.
Yes.
And they didn't even want to have him front and center because he's a Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola. He's the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. So they kept him in the back scenes. But really, it's such a classic. Directed by a woman, Amy Heckling, I think her name was, and written by Cameron Crowe.
Who was undercover
Yes.
in high school.
Yes, he went
in
undercover.
California. I thought that was so cute.
And he wrote for Rolling Stone, and then he started doing screenplays and writing for that, which is super cool. This is one of my favorite movies. If you've never seen it, you need to go out and see it because it's outstanding. When did this come out? In the 90s, I think.
Oh, no.
No, it was 80s? When was it?
Yeah,
The
it
80s?
would have to be 80s.
Yeah.
And if you are a 12 or 13-year-old boy, definitely watch it.
If you're a 48-year-old man, watch it.
No, I think it's more geared towards 13-year-old boys.
Really?
Yeah.
What about this? Where is it? Yeah. But what about this scene right here? You don't see it, but I see it. That scene is worth watching the movie just for this scene right here.
The girl with
Yes,
baby
it's,
face?
yes,
Oh,
it's
wow.
so good. It's so good. I
All
loved
right.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is a great movie right here. I love it, love it, love it. And while we're talking about vinyl, I don't know if anybody knows, but we have the largest, and when I say largest record store in the world, not by how big it is per se, it is large, it's 3 huge stories, but they have the world's largest amount of vinyl in their store. And I want to say it's something like 3 million copies. And it's right here in St. Pete. It's
And they have
amazing.
three different locations. They have the one that is on 22nd. Then they
Mhm.
have one that's just full of audio equipment
Yeah.
that Brad can help you set up your
Yes.
whole situation, and another one that has tons of records.
Exactly, exactly.
Very cool.
And you know, it's cool because, you know, like I'm a big fan of vinyl that isn't that you don't buy at Walmart right now. Like you can go to Walmart and you can get, you know, any like old, you can get Led Zeppelin, you can get new stuff, you can get whatever, and those are re-releases, which they sound great. They're on vinyl, they sound great. But if you really want to listen to some vinyl, you go out and buy the original stuff.
Because you can smell it.
And you can smell it, you can open it up, and you might find some treasures. There's been many times where I've bought some vinyl, and you open it up and there's a newspaper clipping in there, or some kind of promo they did in the 70s, and there's a sticker stuck up in there that no one knew about. Or, like last night, I was listening to Asia,
Oh, no.
and I opened up the inner sleeve, and there was like, I love, what was his name? Brad?
Steve.
Steve,
That was Steve.
me
Today
and
was
Steve
Evan.
forever. Yeah, Kristen and Steve forever. And I was like, who is this? Kristen's old album? And it sure was. I was like, oh my gosh, she just like wrote it all over hearts, hearts, hearts. You know, I was like,
It was 7th grade.
it was 7th grade. Yeah. So you never know what you're gonna find when you are buying old vinyl. So it's really cool that way. So anyway, so yeah, so Fast Times at Ridgemont High. If you've never seen it, go watch it. And if you like vinyl and you want this one, it will be on the website. So check it out, downtownpete.com. It's in very good shape, so it doesn't scratch or anything like that. But I think right now, hold on, I've got to drink a little bit. It's time for a drink. So if anybody's out there drinking, cheers, cheers. Outstanding right there. So we did Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So had a little drink. So we're gonna go right into a local sponsor,
Nice.
and that is the Bamboo, the Echo Salon. Think, Imagine, and Believe. And my friend Josh runs that bad boy. Color cut style facials, not those kind of pervs, and now offering micro blading. What do you think that is? Micro
I know what it is.
I have
It is
no
when you
clue.
have eyebrows
Yeah.
or different hair, but usually it's eyebrows where they have to add some substance to eyebrows because sometimes women want thicker eyebrows now.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got
so that's a good service to offer, and I know that they have waxing also.
you. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So all right. So some microblading. Nice. Didn't know that. So yeah. There's our local sponsor. Not really sponsor. Local shout out. That's what we'll call it. Local shout out for downtownpete.com.
And Ronnie, will these be on the website? So if somebody goes onto your website, they can see the past sponsors like Bamboo, and then last week
I will
you
do
had
that.
Bamboo again, and then you had Revolution.
Yep, I will do that. I will
Okay.
do that. So
Awesome.
yeah, so that's good. So big shout out to somewhere if you want to go get some microblading or some facials or style or cuts or color, and they are doing a good job with the COVID-19. I was
Awesome.
talking to Josh, and he says you basically sprayed everything down. You have to like go wash your hands, and your hair has to be freshly washed when you walk in. It's cray. So
And he ordered a mystery box.
yes,
See?
yes. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Mystery boxes are really good, but we're going to talk about that near the end. Right now, I want to talk about Spin Magazine. Spin Magazine is a cool magazine that I don't know if it's still out. Does anybody know if it's still out? Anybody out there know if Spin Magazine is still out? This was kind of like a wannabe Rolling Stone magazine. I have a lot of them on downtownpete.com, and they're cool because the ones I have are from the 90s. And I wanted to kind of show you guys where music has gone. It's some of the cool bands of the 90s and the early 2000s. We all know this one right here, Dave Matthews. Can anybody name the first album? What was it called by Dave Matthews? I bet you Brian Price, if he's still in here, will.
You know R.M. Squire?
What's that now?
R.M. Squire.
Oh, yeah, yeah, hi.
He's on.
Yep,
Maybe
all
he
right,
knows.
cool. Yep, hey, how are you? That's a girl. What's her name?
She knows.
Yeah. So Dave Matthews, Under the Table and Dreaming was the first album by them. This is cool. It's cool to see the old ads. The next one is awesome. Right here. U2, one of the biggest bands of the 90s. So, funny story, I'm getting a lot of vinyl and I'm selling it. And the Joshua Tree we had the other day, and I was like, that is not going for sale. That is going into my personal collection. It was so good. Me and Kristen were listening to that, and I was like, my goodness, that's going right in my little pile right there. Can't sell it. Cannot do it. It's so good, so good. Yeah, one of my favorite bands, and you kind of forget, like one of the cool things about listening to the music that you do in the 90s, I'm in my late 40s, and 90s was when I was buying music, and this band right here, the Foo Fighters, what do you mean,
Sorry. No, they're great.
No, the Foo Fighters is amazing, right here. So, you know who's in it? That was in Nirvana, David Grohl, who's a rock god, by the way.
I don't understand why I've had to hear that like 50 times.
Well, I'm not the only one saying it. Like, it's like, if you had to have a picture of rock god, it's gonna be him, or maybe Robert Plant. Just saying. So, yeah, there's that. So, I'm a big fan of the Foo Fighters. And then, I don't know why I followed it up with these guys, but they're okay. Linkin Park. Some alternative music for you right there. Good stuff. And another band that people, right here, a little history, Jane's Addiction. Who remembers Jane's Addiction? Right? What was the big hit they had? Remember? Been caught stealing once when I was 5. I never did it again. It's just as simple as that. Right?
Huh.
And the lead singer of Jane's Addiction started Lollapalooza. He's the one that started Lollapalooza.
Is he dead?
No, he's not dead.
Oh,
No,
okay.
and he's still classy. Look how he's dressed. It's so weird that I have an actual suit like that. So I want you guys to imagine me in that
That is nice.
right there. So I wear that on occasions.
Heather saw them in concert.
Ooh, okay, all right. And then we had the last spin right here with the Metal Issue, Axl Rose in his prime.
Yes.
This is not the way it looks right now. Has anybody seen pictures of Axl Rose lately?
He might be dead.
His career is.
Jen just said, is he dead?
Yeah.
I think so. I think he is.
He is not dead, but man, he has put on some LBs, let me say. But I guess we all have, so I should not be making fun. But man, in the day, they were awesome. All those guys from that era.
He was very energetic.
He was running around, all those guys, Axl Rose, like Motley Crue, and all those hair bands were awesome.
They had to keep up with who got Heather Locklear or what was the other girl that they traded back and forth.
Well, Pamela Anderson, that's what you're
Pamela
talking about.
Anderson
Yes,
and
yes.
Heather Locklear.
Oh, hold on.
Hi. Heather's
Yes.
just saying that drugs aren't bad, so that's cool. Drugs need hugs.
I agree. Put down the drugs and give me a hug. So Spin Magazine is what we're talking about right here, and I'm a big fan of them. I have a lot of copies on downtownpete.com of cool. They've been selling a little bit because I think people like to get their favorite artists on the cover, put it in a frame or something like that. So yeah, if you like some Spin magazines from the 90s and early 2000s, I have a lot of them, even some from the 80s, I think, on downtownpete.com. Get on there and check it out. It's a cool thing.
Okay.
And, it might just, if you check it out, it might just make you happy. You never know. So I'm gonna do some props throughout the show here. So be happy, all right, and check it out, all right? And don't be a sloth, man. Just check it out.
Come on the
Come
website.
on.
Don't be a sloth.
Yeah, right there. So that's funny stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving right along. What's the time check here? We're good. We're going a little bit fast. That's okay. We gotta slow it down a little
That's
bit.
okay.
That's okay. We did our local sponsor. So, okay. The next thing is where is it? Did I not bring a? Oh, I didn't bring a prop for it. Did I not?
What
I
is
thought
it?
I did. I thought I did. The Caddyshack. I did not bring
It's
anything.
right in front of you, like right there.
Oh my goodness.
Are
So.
you dead? Oh, sorry. You need to set him up?
Well, let me
what
do.
the
Yeah, let me do
hell?
it. So we have Caddyshack. So one of my favorite movies is Caddyshack, and I got this dude right here. He's going to be on the website, and he does this funny.
My cousin Kevin Mumford did not get it in his mystery box.
He's not going to, man. Give it away. So yeah, so the Gopher. So a little bit of trivia about Caddyshack is I got it wrote down right here. I think it's one of the better movies that was put out. Right? Who agrees with me? Anybody? Anybody agree with me?
No, I would not say that.
So here's some cool stuff. It was made for $3 million budget.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. It grossed 141 million, so some people got rich off of that movie. Bill Murray was only there for 6 days worth of filming.
Showed up.
He showed up, yeah.
He was supposed to be for a lot more.
Yeah,
He only
yeah.
showed up for 6
He was a
days.
little eccentric at the time, and they didn't even know.
And he was coming right
And-
off Saturday Night Live.
Yes, yes. He was completely sober the whole time.
How do you know that?
I was a joke. He was not. He was probably coked out of his mind. And I heard that he did a lot of that stuff with the Gopher on improv. Like he just made a lot of that stuff up. And that Gopher that I just showed, the dancing Gopher, was not even in the original script. They added that, and I don't know where it came from. Chevy Chase was the star of the movie. We all know him from Community, and he was in a lot. Fletch.
Fletch was a major one.
Yes, and Vacation, and Christmas Vacation, and European Vacation with Beverly D'Angelo, who I still to this day have a crush on. Who else? Beverly D'Angelo,
I don't know who that
the
was.
wife. The wife.
Oh.
She was. Oh, I loved her. And I think that's all I have right here. The trivia. Oh, and it's about the writers. It's about their childhood going to the country club.
Yeah.
And the shenanigans that they would do as caddies. They used to be
Bill Murray's brother.
Murray's brother, which was named with Brian Doyle Murphy.
Yep.
Was
Murray.
one of the Murray, sorry, and he was one of them. And they wrote it, and maybe that's one of the reasons why they had Bill Murray in the movie.
And that is the reason.
Nice.
And they had even the Baby Ruth thing happened at at the country club. So that's kind of cool.
The turd in the pool?
Yes, that does happen. Every so often.
I mean, I will pee in a pool, but have a turd. How to get out of the bathing suit?
The kid is like 9 or 4.
Yeah. Well, what does he have? Still, then you have a diaper on.
No, you don't. Sometimes you just poop your pants.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. Sorry.
Kristen,
Sorry.
why are we talking
Sorry,
about
everybody.
poop on downtownpete.com?
Sorry.
Ugh.
No poop talk.
No poop talk. No poop talk at all. We're not doing any poop talk. No more. No more. Let's see the main screen back again. So I'm going to go back into some vinyl, a couple of things of vinyl. And again, I found this in the warehouse.
And again, it has another boyfriend.
One of the best albums of all time. And I don't care what he did or what he supposedly did. You cannot get much better than this
No,
album.
you can't.
Michael Jackson. And you know what? He's one of the original Tiger Kings.
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Because he had one.
Because he had one on it. Look, he's like, I need a baby tiger on me.
Oh,
So
I love.
there you go, Tiger King. Michael Jackson beat you to that punch.
And see his cute little matchy match. He has the tiger, and then he has leopard print in his pocket.
Oh, that's a good
And it's
attention to
before
detail.
he was bleached.
Yes, yes, it was before he was bleached. He looks very dapper there, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
Like a Miami Vice dapper. So yeah, this is an incredible album. I think it was I think it still is the top selling album of all time. Is anybody going to fact check me that? I think it is. So anyway, Thriller is amazing. And a little bit of trivia for you. Vincent Price famously is on this by doing the whole cool, like during that song Thriller. But that was the first time Vincent Price was on a major record like this. 10 years before Thriller, Vincent Price was hired by Alice Cooper to do Welcome to My Nightmare, and he's in that one also. So Vincent Price was like, yeah, my voice is making me some dough. So that was good. So yeah, we got Michael Jackson, Thriller, one of the best albums of all time. I like it a lot. Thanks, Kristen.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, hold on, everybody. We have to do that. It's time to drink.
Sorry.
Yes. It's fun. If anybody's out there drinking, this is time for you to go get a beer from your fridge. You don't want to miss
Or
out.
wine. There's a lot of girls on there.
Yes.
Or not that girls drink only wine, but.
I don't know. Or shots. I'm not doing any shots.
Or do some meth.
Look, we're not doing meth on this show.
Okay.
Can't do meth at all. So, all right. So, this next one is so perfect. It's so perfect. Let me do the main one. Boom! How about that?
Woohoo! I get all chilly.
I know. And Kristen did not write into end sleeves of this one. So a lot of these albums that we're seeing right now are from Kristen's collection as when she was like in 7th grade. And if you weren't here earlier, I was looking through Asia last night, the band Asia, and she had written on there about how she's in love with this dude, and she wrote it on there. So that's one of the cool things again about buying old vinyl is that you might have some personal notes from some lost love back in the day. But this one right here, Purple Rain, is an incredible album. And he's considered by a lot of the people who play in actual bands as to be like an influence because he could play the guitar, he could sing, he mixed up the genres.
He only has 2 problems in his whole life.
Well, one, he's not here
He's
anymore.
dead.
Yep.
And he's super short.
But he liked to play basketball.
He loved basketball.
So if you guys ever seen the Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories with Dave Chappelle, there's a story about how he invited them back in the day, Eddie Murphy and all those guys, to go back to his place and, hey, Eddie Murphy, you want to go play some basketball? Shirts versus skins. And they're like, this guy can't be serious. He's like 4'11". He can't go. And they went and he actually could dribble. He could play some ball, which is funny. So a little pop culture story about Prince right there. Does this open up? Is this got, no. But look at this. Another reason why you want to buy original albums and not reprints, because the reprints don't have the cool inner sleeves like this. You're not going to get that. You're not going to spend the money on that nonsense anymore, so you're going to get some cool inner sleeves. So you want to go out there and buy the original vinyl because it's worth it. Worth it all day long. So I think one more, and then I'll move on to another category. But I was talking about Axl Rose earlier and how those rockers from the 90s and early 2000s and 80s actually didn't age very well. And these guys right here were one of the best.
Is that the band that we saw that goes upside down in the drum thing?
Yes, Tommy Lee. Yeah,
Love it.
Tommy Lee, who also was sharing his loves with a bunch of rockers. Heather Locklear got around. They did not know which rockers they wanted to stick with. Tommy Lee obviously is known for a couple things: his drumming and his sex tape with Pamela Anderson.
Oh,
remember? And that leaked. That's one of the sex tapes, the first sex tapes, and the girls are always watching it and going, "What's going on down there?" That's it. I don't know why I even went there, but yeah, anyway. And they also, if you guys remember, they wore makeup when they first came out, like Poison did. And they quickly stopped doing that. But look at this.
they look like
They look like what are they doing?
what Boy George?
Well, look at Vince Neil, dude. Like he's got white gloves on. He's like.
Is that the fat guy that we saw at Janice Landing that one day?
So yeah, we were at Janice Landing watching Vince Neil, and this is when they broke up, and Vince Neil was on his own, and he was so drunk that he ripped the back curtain down and showed all the backstage, and the opening band had to go out and finish the set. So I'm sorry, Vince Neil, I had to let people know that. You probably Don't want anybody to know that, but that's what happened. So, Theater of Pain, this is one of their first albums, and it's really hard and good, but man, it's good. I love it. So we got about 20 more minutes.
Yep.
No, we're doing good. We're doing good. So, Theater of Pain. Let's do one more album. One more. This one's really good. You guys remember this one?
Oh, I love them.
Sing a song off of it, Kristen.
You got just what I needed.
No, I don't know. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody know the lead singer?
Yes, he was married to Paulina Proporcevic.
Yeah, but wasn't he? Who was married to
Kasich.
Rick Ocasek? And
I
who was
am the winner right now.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I just won a lot of stuff.
A lot of cars. Is that like a gear from a car? I don't know. So they put stuff like that in that. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm putting
Does
that
it say anything in that album?
No, but look at Rick Ocasek right there. There he is, right
He
there.
was the ugliest MFer
Nope.
that married the
No.
most beautiful supermodel ever.
What about what's her name? Pretty Woman. What's her name?
Julia Roberts?
Julia Roberts married the country that Lyle Lovett or whatever his name was.
Oh yeah,
He's not attractive.
Yep, you're right. That's totally right.
So what's up with that? You know?
But Rick Ocasek was pretty ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I mean, they had the shrunken head.
Yes, they did. They did. So now we're going on to the next category. And Kristen said, don't do this. No one knows what this stuff is. But I really want to talk about laser discs.
Of course.
Right? And I want to talk about laser discs for a couple reasons. One, it's a format that no one knows about. But for 5 years, it was how you got your movies. It was, I'm telling you. So back in 1979, these things came out, and they're huge. They're huge, but they're really cool looking. So they lasted for about 5 years until DVDs came out and blew them out of the water.
And no one wanted the machine that played them because it came with like this big record player, and it was attached to this minuscule video screen.
No,
it was
it's not
like
the case at
smaller
all.
than my freaking
Look at
iPhone.
this. Look at this. So I've got a couple of these laser discs here. Back to the Future 2, we all know how good that movie is. But look how cool they are. They're super cool, man. Look at that. Look, there's Kristen. She didn't want to be on camera. Ha ha! There you are, Kristen.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? There you are. Hi, wave to everybody. There you go. So I sold 2 of these last night, actually. My phone went cha-ching. I have a little app on my phone that when I sell something on store, it lets me know. And I was like, I'm always like curious about what people are going to buy. And someone bought a laser disc. And I'm like, do they watch these at their house?
Do they have a mini
What
TV?
are they doing? What are they doing with these laser discs? But I like to talk about laser discs because when they were out, that's when all the good movies, I mean, the 90s had, and they lasted for a while. Like this movie is from 80s, I think? So they were more than 5 years because they came out in '79, and they were called Disco Vision, which I thought was neat.
Yeah, that was cute.
And then this was Back to the Future 2 was like in the late '80s, you know. Well, and if not that, then we have Laserdisc right here.
Oh Jesus!
What? Come on, Tom Cruise.
God. And
Yeah.
okay, everybody, this is totally not planned.
What?
Movie theaters are opening a week from today.
Yes.
And I don't know if the Top Gun 2 is going to be available.
Well, it's not Top Gun 2. It's the remake. It's with Tom Cruise.
Why would he do a Top Gun again?
Because he's
Is
ageless.
the guy going to
He doesn't
die
age.
still?
He
Like,
doesn't
is
age.
the guy going to hang himself
He
in the
doesn't
shower
age. He doesn't
still?
age. You know who died? You know who did age? Is Kelly McGillis here.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't
she
matter.
did not age very well. But look at the back. Look. Look. Thumbs up, man. Everybody get a thumbs up right there. Right?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And he's so short, this dude.
he is.
You know? And if you look up Tom Cruise, here's another funny thing. Look up Tom Cruise when he first began, before he got his teeth fixed.
They
and-
were some messed up.
And when he was, his first movie was a movie called Losing It, where these these high school kids went to Tijuana to go try to get laid, to lose their virginity. And in that movie, here's that one tooth that just goes out like this. And like, oh, who's coming out? His tooth arrived before he did. It's so far out in front of him. So he had to get that fixed, and he did. And he's a leading man. you
Of
know,
Scientology.
of
So
Scientology.
he's
And here's
very-
the goose. Let's have
Wow.
a little drink to Goose. You're my boy, Goose.
So Goose is the one that kills himself. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't.
Well, I think
Ruin
everybody's
it.
seen the movie. I think
I
everybody's seen
shouldn't
the movie.
ruin it. The laser disc.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Top Gun. So, you know, that's funny. So yeah, that's a good movie. It's a great movie.
Yes, he does have great veneers, Beth.
See? These next movies I love, dude. These are my favorites right here.
How many laser discs do
I
you
got that
have?
You know what? I have a lot. But look how cool they are. Again, there's Kristen in the background behind the camera. Raiders of the Lost Ark, another great movie from the 80s right here. That's when Harrison Ford was in his prime.
The real movie star.
Yes, yes. Steven Spielberg.
He is my same birthday.
Yeah, a Steven Spielberg film right there. It was so good, so good. And the cool thing about all of these is they all open up to show you some clips from the movie and stuff. So it's, I like them, dude.
How much were they when they came out? It was like crazy expensive.
Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
like $50 when they came out.
something like that. I mean, VHS were that much when they first came
Yeah.
out. You know,
So crazy.
So yeah, so the trilogy of these right here, and I think that I'm doing these in order. I am. So you had the first one,
Wow.
and then you had the second one,
Wow.
and it goes, "No time for love, Dr. Jones." Remember?
I love that.
Oh, no time for love, Dr. Jones. And then what's her name? Does anybody remember the actress?
I
Kate Capshaw.
don't. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Look at there, and look at that Indiana Jones hat. I could sport that. I think I could sport it. Why doesn't anybody tell me my hair's messed up? All right, there we go.
It's perfect.
Thank you, thank you. So that's good. And then, of course, the last one, I think maybe more, but these are the first three, I think, is The Last Crusade, which had Bond, Sean Connery.
Yes.
Sean Connery. Yes. So these were great movies. Again, I keep doing this just so we can see Kristen in the background. Oh, there's Kristen. Oh, man, I can't do that. Oh, nothing. There she is. There's Kristen right
You
there.
can't see me. I'm
You
looking
totally
at-
can see you, man. I can totally can see you. There you are. There you're looking down. Yep. So that's good stuff. So yeah. So those are laser discs right there.
So if you have the antiquated machine with the very small screen, they are for
Yeah.
you.
Yes. And look at the size of this beast right here, people. That thing is large and in charge right there. But you see the size of the discs, and that's why they didn't work, because there was so much disc to take in. You know.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is, we've got about 20 more minutes here, so I might have to get some more stuff on the
Oh,
fly.
jeez. You can talk about stuff.
What? I know, but the laser disc is
What about
hysterical.
your big concert?
Oh. I'm going to talk about that now. So I think we've talked the laser disc to the grave. If Brian Price is still on here, I was stationed in, some people don't know this, but I was stationed in England. I was in the Air Force, and the Reading Festival was one of my first big music festivals. And the reason why I'm doing this here is because, you know, pop culture can mean, it doesn't mean what it means to, I mean, what it means to me is what it is, but what you have your own pop culture. So this is I think one of the reasons why I love music so much, because I went to this in my mid-20s, and just look at the bands that were here, right? This was in a place called Reading, England. And it's like Lollapalooza. It's a big, huge music festival. You're camping out. There's vendors everywhere. It's amazing. But we had Rage Against the Machine, The Prodigy, which that was a big deal because Prodigy is an English band and Rage is an American band, and they were mad because Prodigy got second billing to Rage Against the Machine. But still to this day, like one of the best concerts I've ever seen. It was so good, so good. Weezer is still around. They're still relevant from the 90s, right? So good. Ice-T, this is before he was on that show. This is when he was an actual rapper, right? Butthole Surfers. Anybody know the Butthole Surfers? Huh? Anybody know them? No? Do you guys have questions about who the Butthole Surfers are? Actually, I'll tell you about the Butthole Surfers. I'm at the mall in Statesboro, Georgia, And I am listening to what's on the radio, as most people in their early teens do. So I'm listening to pop and stuff like that, and I went through all my classic rock. And I went to, I think it was Goodies, and Goodies was a record store at the mall. And I went and I saw a cassette tape of Hairway to Steven, which was by the Butthole Surfers. And you're like, Hairway to Steven?
Like
Not
Highway to
Stairway
Heaven.
to Heaven? Oh my goodness, and I bought it, and it's one of the first bands that made me branch out from, like, you know, from just listening what was popular at the time. They were the first band that made me go, there's a lot more out there. So I always recommend that. Even to this day, you can just go out there and, you know, and say, who is this? What is this? Just put it on. Just listen to it, you know? And you might be amazed. So I like doing that with vinyl. You just like, I'll look through the vinyl and I know pretty much all of them, but then I'll see something I'm like Orleans.
We never knew that you
Never
were
knew
still
who they
one.
were. Never knew they were. And I gotta
And
get
one thing that reminds me, I know we talk about this, we go to this festival every year.
Mhm.
It's called Riverhawk.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will not be canceled, but whatever.
It might be.
They have some awesome bands, and we found
Mhm.
one that we love. What is it? Caravan of Gypsies.
Caravan of Thieves.
Caravan of, no,
Nope,
not
nope,
thieves.
nope.
Gypsies.
Caravan
Caravan of Thieves is different, but they're good too.
Caravan of
Gypsies.
Trixies.
Gypsies.
Okay. There's a caravan of some people, and they play good music. So day one was these guys. Offspring. Offspring was great.
They were good.
Downset, Collapsed Lung. We're getting into people I don't know. But then the Black Grape, that's an English band. Garbage. Shirley Manson, lead singer, has passed. Let's drink to her.
Dead. Again, dead.
Dead. Julian Cope. I don't know the rest of those guys. Super Furry Animals. I remember Super Furry Animals because they used to have this pink tank that they used as a promotional thing, and I thought it was like,
Oh,
they had a tank pink. That's amazing. Stone Roses, Sonic Youth, great band. Reef, My Wedding Present. Moby, down here, just getting us started, I guess. And then you go into this other guys right here. Flaming Lips, down here at the bottom. Why were they so low? Don't know, but they were. So anyway, those guys rocked. This whole thing rocked. So I loved it so much. So yeah, so music festival, something we can't go to until 3 years from now, maybe. I don't know. It's crazy. But it was fun. It was fun.
put that up there. That's kind of cool that you have
Yeah.
all the programs. You have a couple of them.
Yeah. So I actually have to prove, I guess, that I went to it. I gotta figure out this mainstream thing. So
And that tattoo that you have on your butt.
I told you not to tell anybody about that.
Got it.
All right.
Yep.
So anyway, Reading '96. I was there. And so this is an official program from it. It has all kind of cool stuff. I'm trying to think. Look, it has all the bands that were there and their ads. Offspring, Moby, all this stuff. You know, it's super cool. And a lot of stuff about them. Good stuff. This is not for sale, by the way. This is mine. I'm not selling this.
Oh my God.
It's only like a little bit of things that I love. And I have, if you guys have ever been in my office, I have the poster up.
Huge
It's the
poster.
big, huge poster, the blue one that's in there. So that's what that is. So yeah. So that's that. So anyway, moving right along. Got a couple more things to go over. But let's talk about Eminem. This is Kristen's, one of Kristen's favorite things right here. Eminem,
Look at him. Hi.
top 5 rappers. This is all Eminem names, and that's Zach Galifianakis. That's hysterical. But yeah, Kristen, you want to talk about your love?
Well, he's the best rapper of all time.
You know, did you?
Ever.
All right, that's a little bit crazy.
Who else would beat him? No one.
What do you mean?
Yeah. No.
Ludacris,
No.
Snoop Dogg,
No.
Jay-Z.
Okay, we're not even talking about this anymore. Yeah, Eminem is
that Canadian
perfect.
white guy that was called Snow.
Nope.
He was better
No,
than Eminem.
no. Eminem is the
Informer,
best.
and Nicky Boom Boom Down. Remember that?
He's like Michael Jordan of
All
rap.
the
He's
members-
just beating his own records
No.
in the fastness and
All the members
articulousness.
of Color Me Bad. All
No,
the members
I'm
of Color Me
done
Bad.
with you.
were
Okay.
better than
That
Eminem.
is for sale, and I might buy it.
Okay.
Does it have a poster in it?
I do have some. I have a lot of Eminem actually because he was so popular in the '90s.
And he's still popular right
He's
now.
still popular now, so he has longevity. So yeah. So I still think that Snow is better as a white rapper. Did
Well,
you
I don't even know Snow, so
Informer? I Like You Boom Boom Down.
that's not better than him.
Okay. Okay. What about Crisscross? Those two little kids that
I hate you.
wore their pants backwards.
I hate you right now.
Those were good. Okay. Well, you know what? There is Eminem right there.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. So you know
If
what?
you're lucky. Oh
And
my
I
God, like my two favorite things right
I
there.
think right now,
Listen.
if you should go to downtownp.com and see if there's anything on there that you might get lucky. You never know. There's good deals. Right there. Look at that. Yeah. So that's good stuff right
sweet.
there.
I love that cat.
We got props. And you know what? Take a chance. Take a chance on downtownp.com. Right there.
I can't even. Perfect.
All right, so what do we have left? We have a couple items left. Okay, okay, so this next item,
Yes, put it on a display.
put it on the display right there. So I want to thank my sister for giving me this right here, this Justin Bieber metal lunchbox from when he was a little kid. Look at him. Look at that
It
little.
was so sweet.
Look at his little hairdo and stuff right there. Justin Bieber. She gave me this today. Now, this is actually kind of cool because this is something that can be on the store. But with this, she also gave me a boot that you would,
A mini boot.
a little boot, a little ceramic boot that you would get at like a flea market.
Big Lots
Yep.
is where the price tag is.
And I want to know who, I don't know if these are her stickers, but someone decorated them with the I love Bieber.
It is her
You know,
stickers.
it's her stickers.
Yeah, 'cause there's
So
also
yeah,
I
so
Love Pony.
this is like actually a cool thing. It's actually going for a lot on eBay. It was like $20 or something like that. And I'm like who is gonna buy this? But listen, I'm amazed. I'm amazed that I actually sent off 2 laser discs last
Me
night.
too.
Last night, 2 laser discs sold, and I had to get up and this morning and pack up 2 laser discs and send them to some people. It was Encino Man. Remember that movie, Encino Man, and The Breakfast Club, which is amazing, right? The Breakfast Club is amazing. Encino Man, not so much. But Brandon Fraser, remember him?
He was awful.
He did become kind of awful, but that was his first movie. Encino Man was
No,
Brandon
he's awful
Fraser's.
all movies.
But you know who else was starred in Encino Man? Pauly Shore.
Yep, again,
Yeah.
same as.
Someone
Brandon Fraser.
disagrees because someone bought it. Someone bought a laser disc of Encino Man. And I
There's
sent
so
it-
many
And I
problems
sent it
right
off this
there.
morning. So
Okay.
I'm just saying that is what happened right there.
Mhm.
How much time we got? We got about 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, and I think that's perfect timing. I got about 3 more things to show everybody. So we're gonna go with this. So a lot of this stuff, everybody might be asking, might be going like, I'm curious. I have a question for you right here. Where are you getting all this stuff? Do you think people are asking that, Kristen? I think they are.
Our garage.
And that's where a lot of this stuff was stored for about 20 years. But now, of course, to Kristen's, what's the word? Dismay. I am actually going out and picking, which I'm like, come on, COVID, go away, so I don't have to go out and make up things to do. But I picked this up. E.T. on VHS, never opened, original shrink wrap. And I looked it up, and when you have the green little thing right here, that is actually collectible, I guess. So,
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of neat. I don't know. I mean, that was a good movie. He did get home. We talked about E.T. last week.
Were there any VHS players at the antique store that you went to?
I didn't look,
Okay.
but I bet you there are some somewhere.
Well-
E.T. was a classic. Drew Barrymore was in it.
Aw.
And as we talked about last week, he
Yeah.
did get home. He did get home.
Yep, he
He
did.
did. So
Oh,
that's a classic.
I love that movie. Well, I mean, I didn't love the movie because to me it was like a deformed little baby.
hmm
Shoot.
Okay.
Shut up, Kristen. But my favorite was Drew Barrymore was probably 5.
hmm
And the mom ran out to go to the store to get cigarettes. And she goes, I'll be back in a couple minutes. You guys be fine. You guys are fine, right? And she leaves the kids at home. And this kid's 5. And I'm like, this is what we all live with. This is the way that we grew up.
That's true.
And now you have to be 14 before your parents will,
Well, now you'll go to jail for that. And and it's cool to watch older movies because if you watch older movies and you'll pick up on things like that.
yep,
Now I'll watch movies in the 90s and they'll have technology that's totally dated, like a big huge cell phone, or they'll pick up their pager. Oh, I just got paged.
I love the
And
pager.
and then you go back into the 80s and they'll have stuff like that. So you can actually get a snapshot of what was going on at the time when you watch these older movies, which is kind of neat. And Kevin loves that stuff. So yeah. So moving right along. Next one you guys are gonna like. Again, something I picked up.
That is really cool.
And look at this. So we've got Star Wars on VHS, all three of the originals right here. Look at that.
I think I had that when I was young.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is neat.
Yeah, it's a special edition. This is $3. This is going to end up in a mystery box, which I'll talk about after
What?
this. Well, there's not going for a lot. You'd think it would be. You'd think I'd get but it really isn't.
The
So.
problem is that nobody has a VHS.
Yeah, but this is cool to have though. If you ordered a mystery box and you got this in it, you'd be
I
like,
would love it.
they'd be like, what? That's so
I'm actually
cool.
gonna order one right now.
You should. This will be on there. I will put a special price, a special Kristen Coffee price for this VHS Star Wars box set right here.
I'm just kidding, people. I'm not gonna buy it if anybody wants it. And you can open that pack.
What pack? This pack here?
Yeah, and just
Ooh, yeah.
say.
Let's talk about this.
Okay.
All right, so we have two more things to talk about. We have just enough time for two more things because we got about 5 more minutes. And what we're going to talk about is Kristen getting me another beer. What we're going to talk about is, let me put this up because that's the dead space right there. And I like that to be up. Kristen on the website has Kristen's Corner, and right now there's only some cool book sets, right? And these are books that Kristen has handpicked.
All my self-help books.
All
so
the
there's
self-help
like
books.
so many more.
And if you order it, she gives a little personalized note wrapped in yarn. Right there. Isn't that neat? Wrapped in yarn. And this is Sexy Time Just Became Better. Enjoy. So let's see what's in Kristen's Sexy Time package.
That is a good package.
That's what
That
she
should
said.
come with lube and stuff.
That's what she said. Okay. Great Sex Games.
Very cute.
Leanne Hooper, who I understand wrote a lot of good books.
How do you know that?
I just know that name, yo. That's one. You get The 7 Lively Sins and How to Enjoy Your Life, damn it. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you get How to Be Absolutely Irresistible. That should just say Ronnie Lee by Ronnie Lee on there.
See, look at how cute those books are. They're so cute
They're
for me to
super
buy
cute.
when I
Super
have nothing to do. Just
Yeah.
stop.
So those are great. Those are great.
Wrapped with yarn
Yep.
and a special
A
note.
special note from Kristen Coffee. That's on downtownpete.com. Scroll on down, and it's called Kristen's Corner, right? And it's sweet. But I think that would be sweet. And you've sold a couple of those.
I don't really know.
You did the what's his name, Toll. His last name
Oh,
is
that's
Toll.
too serious for me. I
Someone
like
bought,
these books
someone in
better.
Kansas or something bought one of those sets, and right now she or he is better for it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's very nice.
Yes.
Good.
So guys, we have just enough time to talk about one last thing, I think, because I'm out of product here. One more do. We're going to talk about mystery boxes.
And how crazy it's been this whole week because
Yes.
of this.
So, I want to thank, if anybody from the St. Pete Times is watching,
Yes, there's 7.
but I want
from
to thank
St.
the St. Pete Times, and this is good advice I'm about to say for anybody. If you have an idea of a business that you want to get the word out on, and you want to get picked up by the media, you do not wait for them to contact you. You do a press release. And that's actually how people get the news now. I think, unless it's extremely newsworthy, and they'll reach out to you. But if you really, well, there's a lot of content that they have to put online and fill that newspaper with, and you can do a press release. And I did one, and from that one press release, I sent out to all kind of like, you have to get all the email addresses from all these different outlets. But from one press release, I sent it out, and I had the St. Pete Times pick it up. I had a newspaper from Sarasota pick it up, and Fox News came here to interview me, and that airs next week, and that is What's Right in Tampa Bay, which is going to be great. So because of those things, those shout outs that they did, I just now got done with all the mystery boxes.
Just 1 week later.
Like 1 week later, there's like 40 of them, which I loved. But I remember laying in bed, now the phone was just like cha-ching, cha-ching. I was like, what is that? My app's going crazy. And it's because the newspaper came out, and of course, you're like, who reads the newspaper anymore? Yeah,
So
old
cute.
people read newspapers. So Walter called me up and said, how's this mystery thing work? And I was like, oh, Walter.
And then there'd be people outside of our
There
office.
was a guy who went to lunch, and there was a guy, an old guy, knocking on the door, and with his credit card in his hand. He's like, I want to order this for my niece. And I was like, this is sweet. This is super sweet. So mystery boxes are on the website, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's a lot of things. I'll put a lot of stuff that's on the store, or I haven't put in the store yet. So a cassette tape, a VHS, a CD, a bunch of stuff from the warehouse. So you get a whole box of pop culture and nonsense, and that is on downtownpete.com. And you scroll down, you'll see the mystery box option, and you'll get a little fun, thought-provoking box
I like it.
from me, Downtown Pete, or
Would you-
Ronnie Lee.
Would you do us a favor and put up our sponsors' information,
Yes,
Real
I'll do that
quick.
again. I'll do that again.
and then also talk about the record player? You know how this guy, what's his name?
The guy you mentioned earlier?
Brad.
Yeah.
He works at Bananas,
Mhm.
and you can go in there and say, hey, I want to start playing records, and he'll give you the turntable, the receiver, and the speakers, and all the wires
Everything.
personally made
Yeah.
by him, and it is a quality setup for around
It's like
$100 and
$125,
$150.
Yeah.
And it's really for kids that want to start learning and mixing music and stuff, but it's a great way to just
Well,
start,
it's-
and it's good quality.
It's good quality, and not to get too audiophile on everybody, but you buy these older records, and when those records came out in the 70s or whatever, well, the equipment they were played on was meant to play those records. So you have older receivers. All you need is three things. You need a receiver, you need a turntable, and you need speakers. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And if you get things that still work, that were made in that time frame, it's really going to work well. And they don't break. They just last forever. They didn't make electronics back then to break. They
They're
make
like
them to break
Levi's.
now. They make them to break now. Even if you went and bought a new turntable at Target for $150, even if it's a Sony, it's not going to last. You've got to go buy a really expensive one, like a DJ would buy for like $300-400, or you go to buy a used vintage one, which if you're just playing music and records on, sounds incredible. So that's my big advice for people right there. And one more shout out to our our local shout out, which we're going to do every week, a local shout out for a local business. And this is a Bamboo Echo Salon, which microblading, which I didn't know what it was.
Yes, microblading if your eyebrows are too thin
Yeah.
and you want to beef them up.
There you
Microblading is the way to beef your
That's it.
eyebrows up.
I love it. I love it. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is the third one. We do this every Thursday at 7 o'clock, and it changes every time we're learning, every time we do it.
And next week, Mark said that he's coming
Okay.
because
Yes.
we need his researchability.
Yes. Yes, we
'Cause
do.
he
We do.
was
Yes.
really good last
Yes.
week.
So I want to thank everybody for doing that. And if you want to, and you're, we do have a little bit of room here. It has some social distancing, but there is room for a studio audience. So you can come here to the downtownpete.com studios, and we can do it outside in the side lot if it's not raining, which would be super cool. So
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Do a live downtownbeat.com studio
Ooh,
remote
that would be so
in
much
the
fun.
side lot.
Let's always
I
do
love
that.
this. I
We'll
love
do
it.
that.
That's a
So,
good idea.
thank you, everybody, and guys, please help share this. This is it's a lot of fun to do, but It is a lot of work to set up. So spread the word about downtownpete.com, and you guys be safe out there. And I hope to see or hear or whatever this is, next Thursday.